I want to define a caste system. How do you define a caste system? What is a caste system? Everybody talks about caste system. But I want to read a well-written definition. A 4-tiered, airtight, stratified, and predetermined compartmental system of ascending order of reverence and descending order of contempt, with no entrance, no exit. It is fixed for the lifetime, decided on the basis of your birth, not merit, not scholarship, not even bank balance. Hindu religious scriptures came to elaborate, encode, and morally justify the system. One is born and died in the same caste. So once you are born as an untouchable, you are untouchable forever, and your child becomes untouchable automatically. So the Brahmin, his child is a Brahmin, no matter how idiotic he is, how stupid he is. And no matter how intelligent and untouchable is still untouchable. This system, unique system, only in India, nowhere in the world. And also the so-called Hindu religion is also only in India, nowhere else. So this is, Hindu religion is nothing but caste system. What is a caste system? In fact, originally started as a racism. It started with racism. And racism taught in the name of religion. So if anyone asks you, how do you define Hindu religion? It is sanctified racism. That is the word. So if in future, if you happen to see, and I would encourage you to catch every Indian, if you see, ask him what's your religion, he says Hinduism, you mean to say sanctified racism. I hope you would all say that. And I hope I'll give you enough information so you can support yourself. He is an ignorant guy. He doesn't know. He doesn't want to know, except his parents told him he's an upper caste. He's hanging on to that. And he loves to call himself an upper caste. But he never thinks for a minute as to why he is an upper caste. Why the other guy is a lower caste. Why is an untouchable? He never thinks about it. Because it is in their head, it is in their blood, it is the sickness. Shred of humanity, shred of compassion, if anyone has, why should I be the priest all the time? My father was a priest, my grandchild is a priest, and this guy is cleaning my bathroom, which he cannot even come into my house, cannot walk into my street. Don't you think a little bit of humanity would raise this kind of consciousness? Over 4,000 years this is going on. Neither Indians nor the international community ever talks about it. And today there is a war going on in Bosnia. They say, let's start an inquiry, war criminal inquiry. I mean, here an oppression, systematic oppression going on for 4,000 years, nobody talks about it. What is the reason? 200 million people are suffering today. And nobody talks about it. You know, one of the main reasons is because they were blacks and they are blacks. That is the basis. You may not know that, I may not know that. I did not know even know that my ancestry was black. I was not taught that in the school. When I went to school, they talked about Indus Valley civilization, but they never told me that is my ancestors who created this great civilization. Now you know what they're doing? The Brahmins, all these years, they said it is a Dravidian civilization, the black civilization, the Aryans invaded. In the last 2 years, now they say, we found new evidence. That is, no, Aryans were never invaders. Aryans were indigenous people. They found new evidence. Is it that difficult to plant evidences? It is painful. It is painful that they could have the obnoxious mind to twist history. Twist history. And they are finding people could collaborate with them, and white men in this country. These guys go there, they join some religious cult, and then they come back and say, great, Hindu religion is great. Don't even know what they are. One time I met an Anglo guy, he said, oh, Hare Krishna, great religion. And I asked him, what's your religion? What's your caste? So you said you are a Hindu, what's your caste? I said, if you don't have a caste, you're not a Hindu, damn it. So you're a Brahmin, right? Is this the reason why you say you're a Hindu? Do you know there are untouchables in that country? These kids are brainwashed. These kids have no brain to wash to start with. They go there, there's crazy gurus, they have crazy ideas, like the Rajneesh, the guy who had a 36 Rolls Royce, because he let every woman and men do whatever you guys want to do. And that is how these Hare Krishnas running around and is one of the craziest groups. And they call themselves Hindus. How can they, if you read history, if you read facts, they cannot say that. But because it doesn't affect them. That is the basis. As long as it doesn't affect me, I don't care what you are doing, how you suffer. As long as I am in the pedestal. And that is what the Hindu religion, the Brahmanism, has done to their people. And that was the reason why it is so well protected. And nothing could change that. And unfortunately, the people from the down under, when they move up a little bit, and they want to imitate, try to run away from his own kin and kith. I think you can see some parallels here, right? Yeah. And this is what happening. This is a curse on our race. But that is where we need to go to education. We need to go to education. What I want to do is, I hope you do not know a whole lot of this Hindu religion. Because there are some people blindly follow this religion. Not only the white men, I have even seen some African American sisters following, brothers and sisters following this stupid religion. To me, I don't think we should follow any religion other than our ancestral religion. Because when I go back to India, I call these guys, I tell these guys, there are 1,001 gods, so-called Hindu gods. All these gods have been there since 3,000-4,000 years. They haven't done a damn thing to our people. We are still slaves. And still we are slaves. The same thing goes here. Jesus Christ has been here 2,000 years. The black man and black woman has been lynched in this country with Jesus Christ holding his hand. Are we that dumb not to recognize that? If there is a TV, some award, musical award presented, the young, handsome African-American brother comes and stands, receives the award. Jesus Christ, thank you. I feel like slapping his face. It was not his. Jesus Christ helped him be there. This is that our ancestors here, 4,000 years been killed and lynched and murdered and raped. Because of them, this young man is standing here. We got to catch every little young child and teach them before they go to school and get some kind of teaching, some kind of education. And that is where our problem lies. And it is so prevalent in India because after 1947, I'm going to go back to the history. Brother Yununi told me I can take all the time I want. So till you all tell me to shut up, and I'm going to keep going. So when after independence, so-called independence, and I'll come back and say why I'm calling so-called independence, the low caste people had little chance to go to school and move up. But he doesn't want to read history. He thinks, oh my goodness, gee, the God gave me. Because of God, I'm moving up. He thinks he's too damn smart. I'm extremely smart. That's the reason I'm moving up. It's not because of his smartness. It is because he got the opportunity. But who created the opportunity? That is the person he needs to go and thank. Instead, this idiot goes around to the Hindu temple and trying to hide himself so he can get into the temple. Because if he tells the guy he's an untouchable, they'll kick him out of that place. Because he's not supposed to go into the temple. As a matter of fact, not only inside the temple, he can't even go close to the temple. Because he's not only untouchable, he's unshadowable. Because even the shadow will pollute the temple or the god or the upper caste person. As a matter of fact, the village I came from, where I was born, I still remember there is a temple. Let's say this is the end of the wall. As an untouchable, I could not go next to the wall. There are a bunch of stones stuck about 20 feet from the wall. I have to go outside the stone. You know why? Because a certain time of the day, my shadow will fall on the wall. That will pollute the god. And the distance is measured with the angle, the longest shadow for the tallest guy. It is today. I'm not talking about 200 years back. And if anyone says India is the biggest democracy, you have to shake that guy, hold him by his collar, and tell him what is democracy. It is called democracy. That's what it is. Okay. I said the so-called independence because the independence is for the upper caste. So they have the independence to crush and exploit and discriminate the rest of the people. And that is what's going on there. That is what, the so-called freedom of press. Or what is freedom of press? Freedom of press, so the press editor has the freedom to do whatever he wants to write. And that's what is freedom of press. Just like that, here independence is that they can do whatever they want and they can exploit the people. So this is the kind of story that you don't hear about it. But this is the facts. So I want to make sure you all understand what Hindu religion alone, what is the implication. The temples are there all over. They are building temples in this country. The Hindus, the upper caste Hindus coming into this country, very powerful. They may be a small number, very powerful because of the money. Most of them are professionals, doctors, engineers, and businessmen. And they have a good hold on these politicians. And they build temples of millions and millions of dollars. And you go inside the temple, I don't know if they're going to let you in, but if you ever happen to go inside, you'll find out who is the priest. Only Brahmins, no one else. No one else can even go inside that inner, wherever that statue. The Hindu has idol worshipping. And they have 1,001 gods. And if you read some of the stories of these gods, you wouldn't believe. One god chasing another god's wife. Another god's wife is chasing another god. You wouldn't believe what all. And the god, obnoxious things. That kind of stories the Hindu religion has. But that's what practicing here. As a matter of fact, the Hindu community in this country practice caste system in this country. Practice so subtly. There's local Indian-run papers. And the Indian community try to stay within themselves, trying to find match for their children. And they have what is called matrimonial column in the paper. And if you pick it up and see, they go through detailed description of the caste. Here. And this, of course, the white man doesn't care because he likes that, because it's all based on racism or freedom of religion. So you can spread poison in the name of religion. And we want to be watchful. We want to find out. We need to know. And unless we know the truth, we wouldn't know what's going on. Okay. Let me go back and read you some of the holy scriptures. Vedas, you probably would have heard about Vedas, Gita, Bhagavad Gita, is all holy books. I hope I made it clear. In the Brahminical Hindu religion, there is no single God like Jesus Christ in Christianity, or Allah in Islam, or Buddhism. There's no. I shouldn't say Buddha, because Buddha never called himself a god. Okay, these other guys are all prophets or son of a gods or whatever. Okay, but I gave up on these gods and religion long time back, because I was born in a village. I was thrown out of a temple. I was thrown out of a street because I was wearing chapel. So I went through the pain for no fault of myself. I was in the village, about 2,000 or 3,000 people in their village, all caste from Brahmins to untouchables. I was the first person to leave that village to go to big city, to go to engineering school. I was the first to leave the country to live abroad, and still I was an untouchable. And still I'm when I went to 1988, I took a bus to go to their village. I was sitting, and the next seat was empty, and the upper caste guy wouldn't sit, because he recognized I came from their village. And I think that probably that guy is a million miles away from as far as my caliber, my achievements. It doesn't really matter what your qualification is, because you are born an untouchable. That is because Manu Skrimti. Manu is the guy who codified this religion. Hindu religion is nothing but rules and regulations to keep the races separate. Okay. So Manu, they call that he is the lawgiver of the Hindu religion. He says, Brahma, as I told you, he is the creator, has intended from eternity that the untouchables should be born slaves and live as slaves and die as slaves. This is, I'm quoting. I'm not coming up with, the reason I'm reading, because I don't want to misread it. I want to quote exactly what it says. Slavery is inborn among the Shudras. Shudras, the last within the caste system. Slavery is inborn among Shudras, and no one can free them from it. No one can free it, because he is born. And then he is in the compartment where there's no entrance and no exit. A Shudra is a born slave. Food gets polluted by the smell of a pig. by the looks of a dog and the touch of a Shudra. And he is not only simply saying the food is polluted by the touch of a Shudra, but he is comparing him with pigs and dogs. This is written 2,000-3,000 years back. I didn't expect that people could be that evil. Obviously they were. A Shudra shall always serve the Brahmins, to live in this world and to benefit in the next world. Remember I told you? You do your service politely, obediently, there's a possibility you will be rewarded in next life. So this is what they tell you. So you do an excellent job being a slave. Not a disgruntled, unsatisfied, but you enjoy. Yes, master, I want to love, I want to serve you. Because I'm going to be a Superman in next life. A Shudra who behaves contrary to the injunctions of the Vedas and Smritis, which is Vedas and Smritis are the scriptures, shall born as a ghost to eat head lice. How sick these people can be. I mean, what kind of imagination this? So when this is told to an untouchable, he's scared the hell out of himself already, working as a slave, working as an untouchable. And if he tell this guy his next life you're going to be a ghost, he is going to try his damn best to be an excellent slave. And that is what this is. And this is what's called Hindu religion. If anyone has any kind of doubt, I want them to hear this, what religion is. And they haven't left women alone anyway. No religion left women alone. To kill women and non-Brahmins is not a sin. Here, as I was telling earlier, the dwellings of untouchables shall be outside the village, and their wealth shall be dogs and donkeys. Their dress shall be the garments of the dead, and they shall eat their food from broken dishes. Black iron shall be their ornaments, and they must wander from place to place. This is the Holy Scripture we are talking about. We are not talking about some kind of pornographic material. Let's come to Bhagavad Gita, supposed to be the holy book of Hindu religion. Anybody heard about it? Now I want to tell you how holy this book is. Chaturvarnya is another name for Varna caste system. Has been created by me. Me means God. Service is the natural action of the Shudras. Here service means serving the upper three caste. It is glory to die in the observance of one's dharma, dharma meaning your caste duty, but dharma of others, this caste duty of others, is a horror. So you better not try to learn somebody else. So they have done it in such a way, you do what you're supposed to do, faithfully. One should not abandon one's duty, which attaches to him from his very birth. See, they are reinforcing it again and again and again. He who worships him through performance of his own duty, dharma, attains perfection. This is from Gita. Few other scriptures. The Shudra must be prohibited from hearing, studying, and understanding Vedas. I want to go back one step earlier as to how these four castes are created. The Brahmins are supposed to have come from the head of the god. The second caste, which are the trader caste, they have come from the shoulders of the god. The third caste, which is the warrior caste, have come from the thighs of the god. The fourth, Shudra, have come from the feet of the god. I was wondering where the heck I came from. I'm an untouchable. If a Shudra hears the Vedas, his ears will be filled with molten lead. If he should utter the Vedas, his tongue should be chopped off. His body should be cut into pieces if he should commit to it memory. This is one of the Vedas. These are the things are written. So how do you expect a poor untouchable try to read or try to study or try to even think? There's no way you can think. And this is the basis on which the Hindu religion. So Hindu religion is nothing but caste system. Caste system and Hindu religion, one and the same. If I have that point come across, I think I've fulfilled my purpose. Okay. Now, coming back to the Hindu religion, as to how the untouchables have been in that bottom. What is the status today? What are their status today? Is there an emancipation? How did it happen? When the British came, before that, let me go back to the Persians, the Muslims came. They came in the 9th century. One of the reasons, every time a foreigner came into India, he was able to invade the country so easily, because people are completely disintegrated. There is absolutely no unity. Because that is the dividing and rule is the name of the game of the Hindu religion. Okay, so whether Alexander the Great walked in, or the Muslims came in, or the British came in, they had absolutely no difficulty in conquering the country. As a matter of fact, in certain places, the one king invited the other guy from outside in order to run over the other kingdom. So they're fighting against each other. It was easy for a foreigner to conquer India. The Muslims had no difficulty in conquering almost the whole India. So when they came in, obviously a number of untouchables converted to Islam. Whether forcefully or because if I were living at that time, I would have jumped out of that and joined any religion. Better, I'm comparing one religion to other. I would have definitely gone any other religion other than Hindu religion. Okay. And again, by going into that religion, these people got benefit. First of all, they got dignity, because all said and done, Islam among all the religions, the one treats everybody equally, at least comparatively. Okay. Then came the British. They brought Christianity into India. There also again, some of the untouchables and the low caste Shudras converted to Christianity. But in order to gain benefits from the British, some of the Brahmins also converted to Christianity. And by going into Christianity, they also took their caste to some of them. So today we have different caste in Christianity. As a matter of fact, we have different churches for different castes. There are some churches where different castes sit in different places. So I call Indian Christianity as a modified Hinduism. And it is true. That is true. And it can, even today, you can go to India and you can see different castes of different churches. Okay.